Chapter 79, Aragon. Although Onius was the first mortal to be given a vine plant by Dionysius, Icarius anticipated him in the making of wine. He offered a sample from his trial jarful to a party of shepherds in the Marathonian woods beneath Mount Pentecolis, who, failing to mix it with water, as Oniapian later advised, grew so drunk that they saw everything double, believed themselves bewitched, and killed Icarus. His hound, Mara, watched while they buried him under a pine tree and afterwards led his daughter Aragon to the grave by catching at her robe and then dug up the corpse. In despair, Aragon hanged herself from the pine, praying that the daughters of Athens should suffer the same fate as hers while Icarus remained unavenged. Only the gods heard her, and the shepherds fled overseas. But many Athenian maidens were found hanging from the pine one after another until the Delphic oracle explained that it was Aragon who demanded their lives. The guilty shepherds were sought out at once and hanged, and the present vintage festival instituted, during which libations are poured to Icarus and Aragon, while girls swing on ropes from the branches of the tree, their feet resting on small platforms. This is how swings were invented. Masks are also hung from the branches, which twist around with the wind. B. The image of Mara, the hound, was set in the sky and became the lesser dog star. Some therefore identify Icarus with boots and Aragon with the constellation of the Virgin. 1. Footers. Mara was the name given to Priam's wife Hecab or Hecuba after her transformation into a dog. And since Hecuba was really the three-headed death goddess Hecate, the libations poured to Aragon and Icarus were probably meant for her. The valley in which the ceremony took place is now called Dionysus. Aragon's pine will have been the tree under which Attis the Phrygian was castrated and bled to death. Service on Virgil's and castrated and bled to death. Service on Virgil's, nope, that's an Ovid. And the explanation of the myth. Wait, okay, let me do it again. Got excited for a second. Aragon's pine will have been the tree under which Attis the Phrygian was castrated and bled to death. And the explanation of the myth seems to be that when the lesser dog star was in the ascendant, the shepherds of Marathon sacrificed one of their number as an annual victim to the goddess called Aragon. 2. Icarus means from the Icarian Sea, i.e. from the Cyclades, whence the Attis cult came to Attica. Later, the Dionysius cult was superimposed on it, and the story of Athenian girls' suicide may have been told to account for the masks of Dionysius, hung from a pine tree in the middle of a vineyard, which turned with the wind and were supposed to fructify the vines wherever they looked. Dionysius was usually portrayed as a long-haired, effeminate youth, and his masks would have suggested hanged women. But it is likely that dolls representing the fertility goddess Eridane, or Helen were previously hung from fruit trees. The girl swinging at the vintage festival will have been magical in its original intention. Perhaps the semicircular flight of the swing represented the rising and setting of the new moon. This custom may have been brought to Attica from Crete, since a terracotta group found at Hygia Triada shows a girl swinging between two pillars, on each of which a bird is perched. 3. The name Aragon is explained by the mythographer as child of strife because of the trouble she occasioned, but its obvious meaning is plentiful offspring, a reference to the plentiful crop induced by the dolls.